Good afternoon, good morning, LEC community. I'm Ivan Ramirez with the Latinx Education Collaborative, and we are joined by Dr. Shayla Sullivan from Children's Mercy today, we will be speaking about our upcoming workshop, Prep and Ready. Hello, Dr. Sullivan, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, no, thank you for being here with us. We have a few questions just so we can let our audience know about this important workshop that is coming I think it's Tuesday, April 16th. So let's go ahead and start. Can you share some insights into why it's important for parents to be really equipped with the right information and resources, especially if they have teenage children?
Yes, I think being a parent is really hard. I'm a parent myself, and I feel like it's much harder than the work I do in my office. And I think often we don't know what are the right steps we should be taking to help our kids. And there are, frankly, so many difficult things in our world right now that make it feel a little more scary sometimes. And so I think it's good to really look at what are the things that we can do that we can control. We can't control so many things in our kids' lives. You know, there may be bullies, or there may be just so many things that they encounter, but we can control some things in our own home. We can control the things that we choose to talk about with our kids. We can choose to help seek care if they need it. And we can make some changes in our homes that actually make them safer. So I get really excited to talk to caregivers about that.
No, thank you for sharing. As many of you know, our mission is to set the right conditions for Latinx youth advancement. And a way that we can do that is to equip the parents with the right resources and the right knowledge for them to help our children keep succeeding. Can you tell us a little bit of what topics we might be covering in the upcoming presentation?
Yeah, so as a child psychiatrist, I work with a lot of children and adolescents, and many topics come up in my office. So parents have good questions about vaping. They have good questions about preventing eating disorders. And they have a lot of questions about teenagers and their brain development, because sometimes it feels like our kids are making choices when they're not really thinking through the consequences of their actions. And so that can lead to pretty scary outcomes when it comes to things like feeling depressed or suicidal. And so parents want to know, what can I do differently to make things safer for my kid? And those are the things we talk about. I started out meeting a lot of parents in the hospital when a really difficult time brought them to the hospital. And what I learned from the parents was that we need to be doing a better job preventing some of the bad things that we're seeing. And so I get really excited to talk to the average parents who maybe aren't really worried about their kids. Certainly we want to talk to parents that are worried, but there are a lot of parents who feel like, hey, my kids seem to be doing well. But even for them, for all of us, right, we all have steps we can take to make things safer for our kids.
Yeah, no, yes, we're excited to have this conversation. Which following the event, I know that some parents might want to talk and share their experience. So we'll be there after the event concludes just to keep chatting. Trisha, my colleague, will also be there just to help parents debrief what we might learn that evening. So, in your experience, are there any misconceptions or myths that you can help us debunk about being a parent of teenagers?
Oh gosh, I mean, so many. I think one of the things I hear a lot of parents say is that they feel like their child is lazy, or that they really aren't trying. And I think there really is a condition of depression that can happen for young people. It can be a real concern. I've had a lot of families say that, you know, if my child prayed enough, they wouldn't have any struggles. And of course, I try to incorporate faith within my office, and we talk about how faith can be really helpful. And we can also have other things that can be helpful too. So sometimes seeing a therapist can be helpful. There are different things that can really help. But I'm really excited in particular for this event because we've been working for a long time to be able to reach Spanish-speaking caregivers in our community. And we know that there have been increased rates of concerns for mental health conditions for all young people. But reaching the Latino population is something that we're really excited about.
Okay, that was my next question. If we were going to be talking about mental health, that's always something that comes up in our trainings. Parents are really interested in learning more how they can be best parents and how they can support their children, especially if they're suffering from some mental health issues. Will we be talking about some tips?
We
If-
will. Yes,
Okay.
definitely. So when we first started out this program, the focus was not on trying to get kids into treatment, but we do talk about what are some of the warning signs? When should you be concerned? When should you speak up? Not even necessarily to seek care, but maybe you notice that one of your daughter's friends is no longer coming over to study and she used to come over a lot. What should you do as a parent? Sometimes it's not always obvious what we should do. And so we really encourage people in this program to speak up and say something and to lean into the discomfort if you're noticing a change, because it really takes a village. It takes all of us
Yeah.
to pay attention. And often when somebody's struggling, there was somebody that noticed. They had concerns, but maybe they weren't sure who to talk to or what to say. And I think the stigma is changing, and people are perhaps getting a little more comfortable talking about the fact that our brain health is just as important as our physical body health, and it all goes together. And we have to really take care of our emotions along with our body.
Yeah, no, thank you. We're excited to be talking about those. Well, I know there's some details, some logistical details. Can you remind us of those? I know that this is better for people 18 and up, probably, but there's also a gift card. There's also a gift that they
Sure.
can get in the mail. But yeah,
Yeah.
can you remind us?
Yeah, so what we are doing is we have some videos that we will be sharing the night of the event, and we are inviting people to participate in a research study. Really, we want to learn from you. Are these videos helpful? Did you learn anything? We certainly don't want to waste anyone's time. And so we invite people to participate in the research by filling out a brief survey on a smartphone, or we bring some iPads if anyone needs one. And we can have one adult per household participate. So I know some families have multiple adults living in the house. Our research only covers having one adult per household participate if they're raising kids up to the age of 18. So if you have a newborn, you qualify. If you have a 17-year-old, you qualify. We're very open. And you don't have to be the biological parent. If you're an aunt, but you're raising kids, or you're a grandparent, but you're raising kids, you qualify. We have the surveys now in Spanish, and so that's something that we're really excited for. We have people do a survey at the beginning, then we watch the videos that take less than an hour, and then you have a follow-up survey sent to you on the email that we ask that you fill out before you leave. And that's where you can put your name and your address, and then we will mail you a safety toolkit. And the safety toolkit is really to help the caregiver enact those changes at home that we're recommending. We know it's really easy to talk about changes, but actually making changes hard. And when we give people the tools, they're more likely to be making those changes. So it includes a lockable medication storage box for those big bottles of medicine that some of us have at home, and then weekly medication organizers to keep the medicines to keep track of. And then for firearm owners, we also have a cable gun lock and a gun lock box, like for a handgun. And then we also give folks a bag with a little bottle of dish soap to encourage people to get rid of those old medicines that they have left over at home that they're not using anymore, because we know it poses risk at home.
Yeah.
So we mail that box to people after they've participated. And if they come in person and participate in person, we also send them an email for a $35 gift card.
Mhm. Well, thank you for that. We're excited. I know this has been something that we've been working for a little while, and our parents have been asking for more information about this. So, anything else that you would like to share before we end the conversation?
I just want to say we're really excited. We are thrilled. We appreciate you all hosting us. We know that caregivers are busy. It is really, really hard these days to create time in the schedule, but I really hope that we're able to meet some people in your community that can come, get some information, and then share it with their friends and families so we can have a safer community for young people.
Thank you, Dr. Sullivan. LEC community, we look forward to seeing you there on Tuesday, April 16th, so you can learn more and then keep adding to your toolbox of parents and caretakers. With that, we'll talk to you later. Bye,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Sullivan.
Bye-bye.